The beginning is the end. I have long told those who would listen. The end is where we begin. Not with effort, not with planning, not with willpower, but with the assumption of the wish fulfilled. Every man lives in a world of his own making, and the key to shaping that world lies in imagination. What you dare to assume as true, even if only inwardly, will crystallize into fact. Do not ask me how. It is not your concern. You are not the architect of external circumstance. You are the shaper of internal states. When I speak of living from the end, I speak of a law, not a metaphor. I speak of the psychological movement of consciousness from what is to what will be, and then planting your flag there, to dwell there, to feel the reality of that which is unseen until it becomes as natural as breathing. The law of reversal. When I say live from the end, I do not mean visualize the process, nor hope for progress, nor calculate the steps between. I mean to reverse your relationship to time and identity. You are not becoming, you are. This law of reversal means that the man who is poor must assume wealth, the lonely must assume companionship, and the sick must assume health. Not by observing facts, but by feeling their opposite. The world calls this delusion. I call it divine law. This world is a mirror, and mirrors do not initiate. They reflect. They reflect the face you wear inwardly. You must feel yourself to be already that which you desire to be, and live as if the future were already here. No pleading, no asking, just assuming, feeling, knowing. The moment you claim it in consciousness, it begins to move toward you. Emotion is the bridge. There is one bridge between your assumption and its outer manifestation, and that bridge is feeling. Thought alone is not enough. Words without belief are noise. It is emotion, rich, full, sincere, that impresses the subconscious. That is why I say, enter the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not the scene that matters, but the sensation it evokes. What does it feel like to be there? To already have it? Not to wish for it, but to own it, to live it, to be surrounded by it? That feeling must be your dwelling place. Do not visit it occasionally. Live there. Sleep there. Think from it. It is your emotional residence that determines your physical address. When you marry your desire with the feeling of fulfillment, you set in motion a divine unfolding. The law does not fail, it cannot fail, for it is your own wonderful human imagination. The present is the past. Repeated, the world you see now, every person, every problem, every pattern, is nothing more than an echo of yesterday's consciousness. You are not dealing with reality. You are dealing with reflections. If you react to what is, you recreate it. But if you assume what is not yet seen and persist in that assumption, you rise into a new dimension. That is why I teach you not to fight circumstances. They are old news, fossils. They have no life except the attention you give them. You must become blind to appearances and faithful to vision. Walk through the world unbothered by contradiction. For if you will not accept your present as final, you give birth to a new order. To live from the end is to rob the present of its power and give that power to the unseen. And what is unseen today will be obvious tomorrow. Revision, redeeming the past. You may say, but my past is filled with pain, failure, betrayal. How can I live from the end with such a history? And I say to you, the past is as malleable as the future. What you remember is not fixed, it is interpreted, colored by emotion, framed by belief. Change the frame, and you change the meaning. Change the meaning, and you change your state. I teach revision not as escape, but as redemption. Go back in mind to the painful event, see it anew. Rewrite it with love, success, joy. Feel that the thing you wish had happened did happen. Then drop it. It is done. Revision is not denial, it is creation. You are not bound by time. Your assumptions ripple backward as easily as forward. The law makes no distinction. If you revise the past and live from the revised end, life will conform to the new arrangement. Faithfulness to the end. It is not enough to assume once. You must remain loyal to the state. Fidelity is the test. Can you hold the feeling of the wish fulfilled in the face of delay, contradiction, or evidence to the contrary? This is the secret of persistence. It is not about effort. It is about inner loyalty. Faith is not passive belief. It is the active choice to dwell in the unseen. And in time, the world must yield. It always does. I have seen barren women give birth, the unemployed become business owners, and the overlooked become celebrated, all because they assumed it was done and remained faithful. Let no man sway you. Let no fact deter you. Remain where you planted your consciousness. Say, I am, not I hope to be. Say, it is finished, not it is coming. And when you speak this way from the end must speak back. Imagination as reality. You may ask, but is it real? And I tell you, imagination is the only reality. The outer world is a shadow, a shell. The living truth is within. Imagination is the womb of creation. Whatever you vividly imagine, persistently feel, and inwardly accept becomes your world. You cannot imagine one thing and live another for long. The mask will crack. The inner always overcomes the outer. So why wait? Why doubt? Begin now. Imagine your ideal scene. Fill it with the senses. Feel it, dwell in it, and walk as one who knows the secret. The world may laugh. Let it. You are not living in their world. You are living in your assumption. And soon they will see what you have always seen, because you dared to call the unseen real. The end is yours to claim. The end is not something given. It is something claimed. You do not earn it. You do not wait for it. You step into it. You possess it in consciousness, and the world rearranges to match. That is the power you hold. You can begin again now, from this moment. No matter what came before, there is no condition too fixed, no circumstance too heavy, no identity too broken. The moment you assume the end, it begins. Not tomorrow, now. Your assumption is your permission. It is the only gatekeeper. So enter the end boldly. Speak from it. Think from it. Feel from it. And when the mind doubts, return to the feeling. Let the inner voice say, it is done, over and over, until it is louder than any evidence to the contrary. And then, watch. The world will bend, life will rearrange. The end you chose will become the world you live. Dwell in the mood of fulfillment. If you would live from the end, then you must adopt its mood. Every state has a vibration, a mood, a tone. The man who is wealthy carries himself differently than the man who lacks. The woman who is loved exudes a radiance that cannot be mimicked through effort. These moods are not earned externally. They are felt internally. I ask you, what is the mood of your fulfilled desire? Joy, relief, confidence, safety. Identify it and begin to dwell there. Do not try to act the part. Feel it. For feeling and feeling alone is the secret. The subconscious does not recognize logic or words, but it responds with absolute obedience to sustained feeling. Create no more elaborate rituals. Simply enter the mood. Saturate your being with the inner tone of the fulfilled desire. The more often you visit, the more permanent it becomes. And soon the mood will harden into fact. States are like rooms. I have said many times, states are like rooms. You do not create the state of abundance or love or freedom. They already exist. You simply enter them. Just as you would step from your living room into your kitchen, you can step out of worry into peace, out of lack into sufficiency. How? Through assumption, through imagination, through feeling. When you change your state, everything changes, even if the facts do not immediately reflect it. The world is slow to catch up, but it must follow. Think of yourself not as improving or evolving, but as relocating. You are moving into a new dwelling place of consciousness. And there, everything is already done. There is no struggle in the right state. When you enter the correct room, the scenery matches the theme. The effort is not in manifesting. It is in remaining where you belong. And that is done through persistent assumption. Refuse to return to the old state. There will be temptations to return, to go back to your old state. Doubts will come, like voices saying, it isn't working, be realistic, you're just pretending. But I say, refuse them. The moment you give audience to those voices, you are stepping backward. To live from the end is to burn the bridge behind you. To say, I no longer identify with lack. I no longer belong to that version of myself. I have crossed over. And like Israel leaving Egypt, I do not look back. This is not blind faith. It is deliberate loyalty to your chosen identity. Guard your inner conversations, for they are the gatekeepers of your state. When the world contradicts you, speak the truth louder within. I am already there. I am already healed. I am already chosen. Make this your law, and no matter the delay, stand still. The state you hold will eventually break through. Time is an illusion of the senses. Many are enslaved by time. They believe they must wait. Wait for signs. Wait for conditions. Wait for worthiness. But I tell you, time is the great deceiver. In the dimension of spirit, all things are now. Delay is an illusion. You are not becoming, you are. When you live from the end, you collapse time. You bring the future into the present by claiming it inwardly. The moment you accept something as real in imagination, you set it in motion. The outer world may take days or weeks or months to reflect it, but that delay is only the echo. The creation already happened within. That is why I tell you to ignore appearances. What is seen is slow. What is unseen is immediate. Speak not of someday, say now. Feel now, own now. And you will walk in a reality that others believe takes years to reach. Inner speech creates outer law. You speak all day long, not always aloud, but inwardly. These inner murmurings are more powerful than the loudest declarations. Your inner speech is a script, and the world is your stage. Whatever role you assign yourself inwardly is what you will live outwardly. If you wish to be admired, do not wait for the world to applaud. Applaud yourself within. If you wish to be supported, begin hearing the voices of support in your own mind. Rewrite the dialogue. Replace complaints with celebration. Exchange fears for affirmations. Not mechanically, but from conviction. For inner speech backed by feeling is law. It will shape the people you meet, the reactions you receive, and the opportunities that arise. I have changed entire outcomes by revising my inner words, and so can you. If you live from the end, your inner conversation must sound like one who already has it. Make it consistent, and watch the world transform to match. The end is the new beginning. When you live from the end, you are not finishing a story. You are beginning a new one. Your assumption writes the next chapter. Life is not reacting to your past. It is responding to your present state. You are not bound by what was, but you are bound by what you continually accept as true. If you want something new, you must become someone new. And that becoming does not happen through effort, but through identity. You step into a new character. You wear it inwardly. You speak as it. You feel as it. And the world, being a faithful servant, conforms. Stop dragging your old identity into your future. Lay it down. Assume the one who already has what you desire and live from that end. The moment you do, life begins to echo your choice. And the echo gets louder and louder until it becomes your new world. And now I leave you with one final question. What are you saying to yourself when no one is listening? Because that silent word, that inner conversation, is the root of your entire world.